certification 1989, certification, common body of knowledge, accreditation. You have to do the code of conduct as well, right? Code of conduct in a CSSP and ISEC square kind of thing, there is a code of conduct. Like I'm already certified in CCSP. So there is
Mm,
a code of conduct. Like if I'm training you, I cannot train you that about the exam. Like, okay, this is the exam. You're getting my point. So
mm,
this is the exam and these are the things will be there. I will be able to tell you that, okay, so there may be these kind of a things you have to, taken care
mm,
and then you can work on it. But these are the things which are there, right? Because they will ask for you the references and then working on to that one, which is basically their code of conduct. So everyone who comes under these memberships, they have to maintain that one.
mhm,
Then certifications officially designed over here and say that we have already talked about, right? Target audience, enterprise architect, security administration, cloud system engineer. So these are the security consultant, security engineer, security manager, security architect, so that they can, go into the cloud domain. And then
mm,
you will be have to, registration, Pearson view. Second, create your user account, select the nearest Pearson view testing center, pay the examination fee, schedule your exam. As simple as that.
mm,
Okay. 3 to 4 hours of the exam. We have this one. We have already talked about it. Recertification maintenance is the 3 years. Like they will give you the certification for 3 years, and then if you have the credits or if you are doing the session and then you are continuously working on that one, you can do that one. Otherwise, the fee is like $125 for the research revalidations, right? And then
So for the revalidation, do we have to
give the
give the
exam.
exam? Okay, back
Yes.
again.
See,
Okay.
remember, if you are maintaining your CPEs, like suppose,
Mm,
credit points, like
credit
you are
points.
giving session, you are going on to
Mm,
ISEC Square events or somewhere, so you get a
mm,
point and you do some other
mm,
certifications as well, right? So if you're
mm,
maintaining that one, means that you can revoke by the points only with the
mm,
credits,
mm,
right? So you
mm,
can increase your time period of the certification. But
mm,
in a sometime when the syllabus is fully changed or something, in that cases, there is no, you have to give the exam again. But if you are
mm,
not maintaining anything or the member services or something, so you have to give the exam again. Okay.
mm. Okay.
Then we have the objectives, and then let's work on to the first domain, that is a cloud concept, and then working on to this one. So
Mm,
let me just share that screen to you. That is the domain one. Okay, so in a domain one, we are not having much on your, uh, the security because it is already there. So what we are going to learn over here is the explain the various roles, right? And the characteristics and the technologies related to the cloud computing. So right now you are already handling the, you can say,
mm,
cloud thing. So what all
mm,
the
mm.
different job roles or like core competencies that you are handling in cloud so far?
Okay, so basically it's like these identity solutions as well as the which I told you that what do you call that, like the certificate life cycle management. So those solutions are hosted onto the cloud, which is like AWS environment on the EC2s. So and on the identity side, it's on the AWS EKS, which is Elastic Kubernetes Service, and the other ones are on the EC2 Windows, basically AMIs. So
Mhm.
that is what is there. I mean, like, and then accordingly, all these related infrastructure, which is called VPC. Even we are using that RDS, that managed RDS as well. Surveys. Apart from that, also we are connected with the GCP, the Google Cloud Platform.
Mhm.
SSO, single sign-on we are having from the Azure Entra IDs.
Mhm.
That's one we are using. Apart from that, like on-prem Active Directory service. And from a certificate solution perspective, yes, like Windows ADCS, which is on-prem CS service, which we are using. So those kind of things, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have some more activities for you. So let me just Where is that text edit? Let me just have the new one. Okay, so let me arrange it over here. Let's start CCSP training. Okay. So I have a quick scenario for you because we are going to work on a cloud roles, characteristics, and the technologies, right? So this is basically that one. Now, suppose I have a question. So let me just put it over here according to the scenario.
Mm.
Can you see it over here, or is it fine, or I
Uh,
need to increase the size?
Little
It's
bit if you
fine.
can.
I can. What is happening? Sometime when you have MacBook and then you use the
Mm.
keyboard, you don't know, like, yeah, which command
True, true.
and control can work for you.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay, no worries.
Yeah. No, it's better.
So it's better, right? So this is the question based upon the this one. Cloud roles and characteristics and technology. Basically, we are talking about that one, right? My question
Mm.
is that your organization is migrating to cloud. Now you
Mm.
are working on a in-prem, suppose,
Mm.
right? The
Mm.
CIO, like your
Mm.
information officer, right? And has asked you to explain who's responsible for data security once the data is in cloud, right?
Mm.
So your question is based upon a cloud role and responsibility, how would you differentiate the roles of the cloud customers and cloud providers in ensuring the data
Mm.
confidentiality? This is a very good question, and
Okay.
I believe that this will get lot many times in your work.
Mm. 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 Correct. True. So basically, like differentiation from a cloud customer and a cloud provider. So cloud provider is basically depends upon what the end user or the customer is requiring. For example, if it's a PaaS service or infrastructure, IaaS service. So suppose if I take like in our scenario, right, which we are using that PaaS service, platform as a service, right? So now we have a managed service from the cloud provider, and we are just hosting our data onto that, okay, in that particular database.
Mhm.
So now in that scenario, the responsibility for security of that data, like in terms of regular patches and everything, that belongs to us, that means as in customer. And that uh, uh, the hosting of the platform, that means the basic systems in place, that installation for that database, that belongs to the provider, that means the cloud provider, basically, what I understand.
Okay. According to the CCSP, right? If I have to answer this one, right? So in basically cloud computing, the responsibility is governed by the shared responsibility model. You know that
Okay. Yeah, right.
because whenever you're working there, it is shared responsibility model. Now,
Mm.
how the shared responsibility model comes into that one, there are the key pointers that we have to also understand, right? Like, see,
Mm.
first, the cloud service provider responsible for the security of the cloud, like their
Mm.
physical infrastructure,
Mm.
virtualization layer, and network. So you are not
Mm.
responsible. Like, suppose your bank can then do the financial thing. So cloud service providers are responsible for that one.
Mm.
If we have a cloud customer, data controller and owner is responsible for the security in a cloud, like their data classification, identifying the management, access control. You know that in GCPs, in AWS, we have to assign roles for the different
Correct.
different number for security, right? And
True.
if the roles and their characteristics are not aligned in such a way that they have they are basically resisting your controls, or you're doing the terminations, or like unwanted packets, or like unwanted files are coming. If you don't know like how basically the data is coming, then it is not a good thing. So you have to do the data classification, identity management, access control, and encryption, right? So if I talk about the CCP concept tire in, clear understanding of the cloud roles, their cloud providers, cloud customers, cloud auditor, cloud broker, and cloud courier is very, very, very important. Because once you know that one, then only you will be able to get into it. So here we will be going to talk about it, and later we will going to see this diagram. Do you see this diagram?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And this is the very traditional diagram of explaining the cloud, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we
Mm-hmm.
have cloud consumer, we have cloud auditor, we have cloud provider, cloud broker, cloud courier, and they will come in a later time, right? We'll talk about them. So
Mm-hmm.
basically explaining the various role and characteristic, that's why it is very important. Now you got the
Mm-hmm.
understanding that why it is
Correct.
important, because when you have these kind of you can say things to talk about, you will be needing a clear understanding on this. Otherwise you
Mm-hmm.
won't be able to understand. You will be able to tell, okay, so it will be the it will be you can say taken care by the cloud, some, and cloud will tell it will be taken care by the customer who is taking our services. So there will be the always dispute going on there. This is a never ending dispute. I have worked in a cloud environment. I'm just telling you,
Mm-hmm.
because see, there are two agreements majorly these CSP works. Let me tell you. One is they have their official one, which is the agreement they send to everyone, right? And they have to comply with that one. And the second agreement they work on is like the big giants wants to work with them. Suppose like Google wants to use the Azure platform.
Mm-hmm.
Suppose, of course, they are not using, but if they want to use the Azure platform, so Google is a big company, right? So
Mm-hmm.
what they do is they create their own requirement and then send these requirement to them, and then according to that requirement they create the agreement on that,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that is also can be done, but you have to ask it first from the
Mm-hmm.
CSV. If you're a big company, suppose that you are a bank, and then you are right now working in AWS, and they have given an agreement that whatever they work on, and then you have accepted it, and this thing. But if your company is big, and then you can just talk to the CSP provider as well, and then you can do the amendments on that one as well. Like we need this, we need something this. It is depending upon the client request only. Otherwise, they won't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, so I have another question for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I like questions.
Mm-hmm.
Dipanshu, good morning.
Yeah, yeah. Yep, yep. I'm here.
Okay, next question.
Mm-hmm.
Cloud computing concept. Now, see, I told you that first of all, we'll be working on describing the cloud computing activities, capabilities, and all. So, concept and all. Okay, a startup is